Now let's get started with number 50, Greensleeves. Greensleeves has been around for many, many years, and the origination of it, I did some investigation on it, and there's a lot of theories about who originated or who wrote this piece, but that's still a mystery. It's been used in many, many different areas for many different words. Many different cultures have used it, so it's just a very widely used melody. Let's get going on it. First of all, notice that we are using the center strings on our guitar. We're not going to use the high E string, and we haven't done anything on the low E string yet. So all the notes are going to be between the second string and the fifth string. Okay? There's also chords on here, and you'll see a couple chords over here. We'll look at those in just a moment. It's in 3/4 time. It starts on beat 3. So as you know in music, these two rests shouldn't even be there. So it would actually just go 1, 2, and you start on 3. And on the last measure, it's just 1, 2, and this rest isn't even there. And we'll talk about that when we get into our flat music writing assignment. All right, so let's practice this one. This is a beautiful piece, one of my favorite ones, and let's go ahead and play it. Ready? I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and you're in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, so now let's take a look at the chords. The chords, there's a couple of new chords here that you're going to learn for this song, and they're a couple of the most beautiful chords that I like to play. One of them is D minor, the other one is A minor. Now, if you look at them, they're kind of similar in shape. Let's first of all, before we do the D minor or the A minor, let's look at the A minor and let's slide each one of these fingers to the left or to the ceiling one string. And what chord do you get when you do that? Well, you get your E chord right there. Okay, so now you're going to take your E chord and you're going to slide it to the floor, one string, each finger in that same shape. So play the E chord with me. Now just freeze your hand, don't move it, slide each one down one string. Don't play the low E string, start on the A string. There you go, there's your A minor. Slide it back up and you got your E chord. Slide it down, A minor. There you go. Now, here's a neat way that I like to teach how to transition into the D chord. There's a couple of ways to look at it. One of the ways is you just had your A minor and you had 1, 2, 3, right? So if you look at it, slide your first finger down, slide your second finger down, slide your third finger down, but then bring it up to the 3rd fret instead. So follow me with that pattern a second. I'm on my A minor chord. Now I'm going to slide each one down, keep the same shape, but now I'm going to take the 3rd finger and bring it to the 3rd fret. And I'm only going to play 4 strings. There you go. This is what it sounds like if you don't move that 3rd finger. Kind of cool, but it's not quite the right sound. Okay, so here we go. There's your D minor chord right there. So we can learn all 3 chords easily. Here's E. Slide everything down. A minor. Slide everything down again, but slide that 3rd finger down to the 3rd fret. Okay. There's a second way that I like to teach people how to do both the A minor and the D minor chord, and that's this. here's your A minor chord. If you have 1, 2, what happens if you put 3 here? Looks like a C chord, which it is, right? So make your C chord a second, which you are familiar with. Now just leave 1 and 2 where they're at and tuck this third finger up on that third string, 2nd fret, right under it. Back to C, back to here. And there you go. So see that? That's another way to do it. Now, what you can do is you can relate that as well to your D minor chord. So you still have that same shape. Look, here we have 1, 2, 3 of your C. If you slide each one down, and then just like you pulled that one up here for the A minor, if you keep it on the 3rd fret, just like you were going to put it here, but keep it on that same fret behind it. That's a different way of looking at it. A little more confusing maybe, but it's another way to do it. So here's your C. Slide everything down, but then pull that one up underneath. And then move. That's a little bit harder to do, to work that transition, other than like A minor. Slide it and then slide. Okay? So you're going to find both those chords various places. Let me go ahead and circle it on your music. So you have a D minor, D minor, A minor, D minor, D minor, A minor. A lot of them aren't there. Okay? D minor. There's an A7. We learned that before. C, D minor, A7, D minor. So we have quite a few of those D minors and A minors going in here. But do you notice the common chord that's also in there? C, which uses this shape. And did you notice the short F chord is here too, which again uses the same shape as the C, but we're just rolling it over top there. We've studied that in previous lesson. Okay, A7, we know the 7 chord. There we go. So this is a little trickier with the fingerings, but if you look, all the chords are pretty much the same shape. The only one that's a little bit odd is the A7 chord. Otherwise, most of your hand is kind of like this, kind of in a straight line almost, or a little bit different this way. All right, so again, remember we are in 3 beats per measure. I'm going to start that D minor on beat 1. So I'm going to go about like this fast. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And just for now, if you want to, you can just do 1 strum per chord or 1 strum per measure, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so on. I'm just going to play it that way for now very easily to help you get used to these chords. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. C chord. D minor. A minor. D minor. 3, 1. C chord now. Now look ahead. This goes quicker. D minor. A7. Back to D minor. Okay, now move that first finger up 1 string and lay it down for the F. There's the F. Stand the hand up, move it. C. D minor. A7. Here's that F chord now. C chord. D minor, A7, back to D minor. And there you go. So even though we're learning the melody, it's fun to get those chords through as well. And again, on your melody type lessons or units, you're not required to test on the chords, but it's certainly a lot of fun to learn. In future lessons, in a couple lessons from now, we're going to learn how to do what's called Pima, where we play open fingers, or like an arpeggiated type chord. And this song is just beautiful. We're going to come back to it, but it's just beautiful if we play it. And so on and so on and so on. So we'll continue on learning how to do that type and style of picking and arpeggio playing at a later time. It's a lot of fun, and it can really turn a lot of different songs that you play into just beautiful pieces. So keep practicing, especially practice the melody as you go through, and get into these chords as well, because the more chords you know, the more songs you can play as well. Have a good time, work really hard, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, bye-bye.